Hi friends, Lifeline has been revived with a new lease on life after being revived from something tragic, but this story starts much earlier than you might have realized. You see, Lifeline, when she was younger, found out about what her parents really did for a living and how they were really war profiteers. Knowing that stripped away the glamour of the high life she lived as a child with her family on Zamathi. And this led to Lifeline deciding to make a change. She joined the Frontier Corps, an organization that focused on helping people in need, particularly the casualties of war. It was almost Lifeline's way of giving back, a sense of atonement for the actions of her parents. Her experience with the Corps was even the motivation for her joining the Apex Games. Her intention was to use the prize money to help fund the Frontier Corps. Things would change very quickly though. Her mother hatched a plan with D.O.C, Silva, father of Octane, and that plan would see Lifeline's mother take over the Frontier Corps, and turning it into a band of mercenaries, setting fire to Lifeline's passion. Following these events, Lifeline would discover D.O.C Silva was up to no good, and that his plan could prove fatal for the people of the Outlands. So she took it upon herself to stop D.O.C. She enlisted the help of a few legends, but unfortunately her best friend Octane couldn't turn against his own flesh and blood, and chose his father over Lifeline. This, unfortunately, breaks their long-standing friendship. All of this culminated in Lifeline confronting D.O.C Silva with the help of a few other legends, but it didn't go to plan, and instead of Lifeline stopping D.O.C Silva, she ends up unleashing an unhinged Revenant Reborn. It's safe to say after all of this, Lifeline was at a bit of a low point in her life, and it was really evident, although not to all of the legends, many of them still carrying on as normal. However, Lifeline still thought there were people she could trust, people like Horizon, or could she? You see, while Lifeline's been feeling like this, a new legend has arrived on the scene, Alter. With her comes the opportunity for Horizon to find a way back to her son Newton. If you didn't know, Horizon got stranded in space after being sabotaged by human Ash, and while she would eventually make it back to Olympus some 80 years later, it would be to a world where her son Newton was no longer alive. All the while that's motivated her to join the Apex Games and try and find a way back to Newton, and that's exactly where Alter comes in. Horizon's been working with Mirage and Lifeline to find a way to turn a relic she got from D.O.C Silva's collection into a time travel device that allows her to get back to see Newton. The only slight issue is they can't quite crack how to do it. Alter might very well hold that key though. You see, she brought a piece of Arc technology that she gives to Horizon, and that could be the key to her getting back to Newton. Unfortunately, that doesn't quite go to plan though, no thanks to Ash, who now in her simulacrum form is still causing trouble for Horizon. And as a consequence, rifts in time and space start tearing across the Outlands. Culminating all of this together, sometime later, in the midst of an action-packed Apex game, rifts start opening around King's Canyon, and Lifeline's much-loved companion Doc gets sucked into a rift. Now it's safe to say Doc goes through somewhat of a traumatic time in that rift. He sees an alternate version of Skulltown, he sees Alter in another universe, and he even sees an evil version of Horizon. All the while the void is slowly destroying Doc's outer shell. You don't leave family behind though, and luckily Lifeline is able to reach into the rift and pull Doc out back to her reality. It comes at a cost though. Doc is badly damaged and out of commission, and the rift causes Lifeline to lose the use of her left arm. Luckily, Lifeline has some experience replacing or recovering limbs. Don't forget, she's the one that fixed up Octane after he blew up his own legs. So while recovering, Lifeline realizes she has to trust herself and trust her own instincts. While fixing up Doc, she dozes off and has a vision with a series of flashbacks, and this gives her an idea. With this idea, Lifeline decides to rebuild Doc to put the combat back in combat medic, and this gives Doc a new lease on life with some funky abilities inspired by Lifeline's dream. Of course, she needed a new look to go with this, harkening back to her punk days with the Flyer Liars. Lifeline, real name AJ Shea, dyes her hair and redesigns her look from there. Thus, Lifeline is revived. And that's the story of how Lifeline Revived comes to the Apex Games as a new take on the original Lifeline. Can I finish by saying a huge thank you to all of you for your amazing support. Honestly, I couldn't do this without you, and I'm really grateful for each and every one of you that always watches my videos. So thank you so much, and I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year.